You don't have to follow anybody else's rules. You get to create the life you want. You get to build the business you want. You get to use what you have. Everything you need, you already have. Everything you need is already in you. Believe in yourself. Start taking the actions that you need to take to create the life and the business that you want. Welcome to Purpose. I'm your host, Corie Clark. I'm just a normal girl who decided to go for it. I created a thriving business from the ground up without sacrificing my sanity, and I believe that you can do the same. You were created on purpose, for a purpose, and I fully believe you can turn that purpose into profit. Each week, I'm going to bring you practical advice to help you live your life and grow your business on purpose. Welcome back to another episode of Purpose. I'm your host, Corie Clark, and I feel like it's Groundhog Day, basically. And I'm pretty sure that you know exactly what I'm talking about. I was really hoping that this week's episode was going to be more about getting back into our normal lives, but here we are with another 30 days of quarantine. So, it just is what it is, and we have to deal with it, and we have to follow the rules and all of that good stuff. And so I'm doing my best to be hopeful, to be full of joy, and to be present with my family. But I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It's getting a little rough. And so, if you missed my episode a couple weeks ago, I did share some homeschooling tips and how to plan your day. And I feel like that's just what's keeping me sane right now, is really trying to keep somewhat of a schedule for our family, just keep like a rhythm going. It's not a strict schedule like I mentioned before. It's kind of just like these routines, like anchoring our morning with a routine, anchoring our night with a routine, giving the kids some chores, which I highly recommend. No matter what age your kids are, if they're young, find some little things that they can do. It's really good to teach them to do chores. My kids have done chores their whole life pretty much, but the older two have done less once they graduated high school and stuff and had their own, Morgan has her own business, Parker works a lot. So now that everybody's just home, I did give the older kids some more chores, and it's been nice because I think it's been good for them, gives them something to do to break up their day and their week, and helps, me and Ryan with household stuff. So anyways, so we're doing that, and just trying to stay sane. I felt so bad the other morning. Parker walked out and, he woke up, walked out, and he was just kind of like staring. And it was like, I just looked at him and I thought, I know exactly what he's thinking. He's just thinking, like, here we are again. What do we do now? So I just wanted you guys to know that I'm right there with you. None of us are perfect, and this is a new season that we're all navigating, and nobody's ever done it before. And it really got me thinking about how our lives are not going to be the same. Even when they lift the quarantine and the shelter at home and all of those kind of recommendations, and when we can start getting back to some of our normal life, it won't be the same. And I think it'll be, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good thing. I think it's going to be better for humanity. I think it's going to be better for our society. I think it's going to be better for our communities because, we all have this new appreciation of life and of relationships and of like human touch and interaction and face-to-face connection. And so I do think that the world's going to be a better place. And, it kind of got me thinking about where we were before. And I want to challenge you to think about your life before this all started. And were you really happy? Like, did you love every part of your life? Because a lot of people, like when they really sit and look at their life, they actually weren't that happy. And maybe there was things they were taking for granted, or maybe there was things that they were doing that they really don't need to keep doing. And so I think this is a really good time for us to kind of take an assessment of our life and ask ourselves, like really ask ourselves, and be honest with ourselves about what parts of our lives we want to go back to and what parts of our lives we're maybe okay with like letting go and not going back to. This might even be a discussion that you have with your spouse, with your family. What are some of the activities that you guys were spending time on that really didn't matter or really didn't bring you joy? What were some of the things that were weighing you down? Are they things that you have to continue doing? Because I think the worst thing that we could do is just go right back into our normal everyday lives and get back into that hamster wheel that really was actually weighing us down. And so I came up with a list, and this is going to be a quick episode. I've actually been really busy. It's kind of funny because I know a lot of people are out of jobs and they're doing less. And so they're at home and they're, watching Netflix, and which we are too. We are watching Ozark. We're getting caught up on stuff, but, we're not sitting on the couch all day. And my business is still running. And I'm very thankful for that. And I've even been doing more because I've been offering free coaching calls and, attending other people's coaching calls and hopping on, Zoom interviews and just helping support other communities. And so my schedule's been very full. But there are some things that I'm kind of like taking a step back and looking at my business, looking at our life, doing some reorganizing, and really trying to use this time so that when I come out of this season, when we come out of this, that we'll be stronger, that we'll be flourishing, that we'll be ready to step into the next season. And so I put together a list, and you guys can actually go to the show notes and you can print out like an actual checklist with some like a little bit deeper dive into some of these things that I'm suggesting, that things that you can do just, like over the next 30 days while you're at home. These are some things you can do to just help get out of this season stronger. And so the first one is taking an assessment of your life. And so in the worksheet, I've broken down the areas that you can really kind of look at. And what I suggest doing is writing out in each area how you want that part of your life to look, and how you want it to feel, and what would the definition of success be for that part of your life. So for your health, like if your health was like at its like optimum, like 100% health, like what would that look like? And just write out everything that you would be doing. How much sleep would you be getting? How much exercise would you be getting? What kind of foods would you be eating? What kind of things would you be doing to support your spiritual health, your emotional health, your mental health? And going through each part of your life. So your health, your home, your finances, your time, your business, your relationships, family, community, volunteering, any part of your life, just take an assessment and look at, the things that you would like to be doing in those areas and the things that maybe are pulling away from those areas, or the things that are taking away from you being successful in that area. Okay, so that's the first thing. I'm going to give you 10 things. So number 1 was assess your life. Number 2 is declutter your home. So I've said this a million times. I've said it in other podcasts too, but physical clutter creates mental clutter. And so if you want clarity and you want to be, living your best life, and you want to be able to focus on your family and focus on your work and whatever it is that's important to you, if you have physical clutter in your home, it is creating mental clutter. It is pulling away from those other parts of your life that you really want to be flourishing. And it's usually a sign of some other stuff that's going on the inside of you. And so I really want to encourage you guys to just spend like 15 minutes a day getting rid of clutter, reorganizing, going through things that you've been putting off because you haven't had the time. And so I'll have a few tips in the checklist if you go to the show notes. And then I'll have links to my other, I have programs that will help you declutter your home. It'll give you step by step what to do. So I'll have all of that in the show notes. Okay, so then number 3 would take this time to clean up the files on your computer. Now, maybe you're perfect and your computer's all organized. That's awesome. If so, just skip this step. But for me, we have so many files on our computer and my computer's been running so slow. And I was looking the other day at the memory and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm almost out of room on this thing. And it's got a lot of memory. So I'm setting aside time over these next few weeks to go through files, to delete files, to reorganize them, to make sure everything's in the right place. Because when it comes down to it, when you're running a business and if you're trying to find something on your computer and you can't find it, that's a waste of time. And so I'm just going to be using this time to organize my computer, to delete old files, and, just clean that up. Now, yes, this is not fun and exciting, and most of these things on my list are not that fun and exciting, but these are things that you can do so that when you get to go back to normal life and you get to be going out with your friends and doing things out of your house, these other things won't be weighing you down. These other things will be off your to-do list and they will not matter anymore. Okay, and then number 4, clean up your phone. Delete all the apps that you don't use. Delete all the old photos that you don't need. Back up your phone. Just do your part and, that thing that you've been meaning to do and just get it done. And, these are actually right now in my Simplicity Society for the month of April. We actually, before any of this quarantine thing happened, I had already planned out the whole challenge for the month. And for all of April, it's just focusing on our office, on our computers, on our phones, and just getting that part of our life decluttered and organized. Okay, number 5, build your website. Or if you have a website, then go in there and clean it up and make it ready. What I like to say, this is something that I teach in my Purpose Babe Society, is to be viral ready. So if for some reason you had a piece of content that went viral and somebody came to your website, would they know who you are? Would they know how you can help them? Would they know how to buy from you? And if you don't have a website, right now is the time to build one. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't think I need a website. Maybe you're in network marketing and so you just send people straight to that product website. No, you need your own website. That's kind of your home base, because what happens down the road if you pivot, or what happens if you decide to add your own products and you decide to offer coaching, whatever it may be, if you don't have your own personal website, you need one ASAP. That is where you send people. People find you on Facebook. Well, where do they go to next? They go to your website. People find you on Instagram. They go to your website. Pinterest, they go to your website. You need to be directing people to one home base, and that is your website. And then your website is where you get them to opt into your email list. You get them to buy your products. You deliver free content to them. So if you don't have a website, right now you need to build one. I have a link in the show notes on the checklist for my favorite website, 28 days free. If you want to be selling your own products, and then I'll have links to other, free websites and stuff like that. But you really need to get one. If you already have one, take this time to go through your website. Make sure you don't have broken links. Make sure that your images are, you have updated images in your blog posts. Make sure you have Pinterest images going to each blog post. Update your About Me page. Make sure everything's working, because we all, including me, this is something that we're constantly doing. We'll get, somebody will email us and say, oh, this link isn't working. Those kind of things, when there's broken links, when there's holes in your system, that's where you will lose customers, because not everybody's going to email you and tell you something's not working. They might try, doesn't work, they're on to the next thing. They're back to Instagram, scrolling, they totally forget. So you really want to make sure that your website not only is like up and running, but that it's solid, that it's functional, that it shows people clearly who you are, how you can help them, and where they can continue learning from you or buying from you. Okay. Number 6, create a freebie, opt-in, lead magnet, whatever you want to call it. If you do not have something like this to start building your email list, to start collecting email addresses, right now is the time to do so. Because just putting up a little opt-in on the side of your blog that says sign up for my newsletter is not going to get you signups. It might get you some. Like there might be some diehard people that are like, yeah, I love this girl. I want to keep getting stuff from her. But most people are making a quick decision. And so when you offer something for free in exchange for their email address, you are going to build your list so much faster. And when you're building your lead magnet or your freebie, make sure that it's like a through line to what you actually offer. Like don't just create a freebie for the sake of creating a freebie, because I can tell you from personal experience, I had a freebie a long time ago, and it was free, like Instagram story covers, which was fine. It was still aligned with my brand. It was still helpful for my audience. Well, what happened was that pin on Pinterest went viral and my email list blew up, which was awesome. But I mean, I got probably 20,000 subscribers that were not my ideal customer. And they didn't want anything to do with me. They didn't want to know what I did. They didn't want to read my blog posts. They just wanted their free story covers. So then I had to go through, I had to really adjust that funnel. I kept it going, but I had to really adjust it. And when they got their thank you email, I had to literally say here is your Instagram story covers. If you don't want to get any more emails from me, please unsubscribe. Really just laying it out. It was a lot of work. And so, I learned my lesson, and that's why I want you guys to know, don't just create an opt-in for the sake of getting an email address. Make sure that you're creating something for free, a checklist, a guide, an ebook, whatever it may be, that is actually something that your ideal client would want. Somebody that it's going to give them a little bit of help, and then it's going to guide them to the next step where they can end up buying from you or continuing to follow you on Instagram, join your free community, whatever it may be. But just make sure that you are being purposeful and intentional when you create that lead magnet. Okay, number 7, update your social profiles. Okay, now this is something that I definitely I help my girls in the Purpose Babe Society with, because when people land on your Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be, they are going to make a decision in about 3 seconds on if they're going to follow you or not. So your profile should clearly say who you are, what you do, who you serve, and how you'll help them. Okay, so you don't need all this fluffy stuff I love to play at the beach with my kids, and I love this and this and this and this and that. Sign up for my email list. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you like to do. That's where you share those things in your posts. You share those things in your stories once they've made that decision to follow you. But if someone lands on your social profile and it doesn't say who you're helping and how you're helping them, they have no reason to follow you. And so I want you guys to take this time and go through your Instagram profile, your Facebook profile, your LinkedIn profile, your Pinterest profile, wherever you have a profile set up. Make sure that it says exactly who you are, who you serve, and how you help them. And make sure that there is a link to your website, to an opt-in, to something. Give them a reason to click that link and to get to your website. Okay? It's not just, it cannot be fluffy. People are making decisions way too fast. And so if you want to grab someone's attention, if you want, like, I want you to picture your ideal client right now, your ideal customer, the person that's going to love you forever, that's going to be a fan for life. Now, she doesn't know you yet, and she lands on your Instagram profile. What do you need to tell her so that she knows you're her person? So that she knows, oh yeah, I need to follow this girl because she is going to help me. She is going to bring me this transformation that I've been needing. So whatever it is you do, you need to make sure that your profile clearly says that. And like, no shame. Say who you are, say if you're an author, if you're a podcaster, if you have a YouTube channel, like, own it. Say what you do, say who you help, and that is what is going to help attract the right followers. It's going to turn those casual, like, looky-loo people into followers and then into fans. Okay, number 8, use this time to create new content. So people always say content is king, and honestly, it's the truth. Now, you don't need to waste your days away creating content all day long. If you can create like 4 quality pieces of content, whether you deliver it like via podcast, if you deliver it on YouTube, if you deliver it on your blog, doesn't matter. Create some solid pieces of content and then use those to create multiple Instagram and Facebook posts, Pinterest posts, and you can take those big chunks of really good content and you can break them up into smaller pieces. So don't feel like you need to be creating new content all day, every day. You do not. But you do need to be creating new content. You need to have something new every week for your followers, for your listeners, for your viewers. You need to be doing something that's going to separate you from the rest of the world. And you have to give these people a reason to come back to you. Because the truth is, in this day and age, there's millions of bloggers, of podcasters, of YouTubers. So why would they come to you if you're not creating new content? What are you offering your audience? What ways are you helping them? So if you are home right now and you have extra time on your hands, use it to create like your next 4 weeks of content. I mean, if not further, but for most people, they're not creating content on a regular basis. So start small. Start with what you know you can do and sit down and map out 4 weeks of content. And I've got in the checklist some, ways that you can make that a little bit easier. Give you some tips on how I actually do that. Okay, number 9, start building your email list. If you have not, you have to start building your email list. If you're like, what are you even talking about? I just have a bunch of Instagram followers. Awesome. But if they're not on your email list, you don't own them. Instagram owns them. So, this is like a huge topic and it's actually like needs to be like a course if you really don't know. But there's easy, you can get MailChimp for free. You can get ConvertKit. I'll link to my favorite email systems and share some of that in the checklist. So make sure you go to the show notes and get the checklist. But if you are not building an email list, and if you here's another one, I have a lot of friends and, people that I coach that are in direct sales or network marketing, and they're just building their list through their company's site. I really, really want to encourage you to build your own list separate from that site. Because what happens if your company shuts down? Then what? What happens if you decide to move and work with a different company? Then what? You need to be building your own list. You need to be serving those customers in a unique way that's different than how the company that you the umbrella company that you work under. You need to be separating yourself so that you are building your own personal brand and you can take those people with you wherever you decide to go. And if you already have an email list, then this is a great time to clean up that list, delete cold subscribers. There is no sense in keeping somebody on your list that's not opening your emails. It's not good to have a bad open rate because then it actually makes your deliverability even worse. So you really want to clean your list. I clean my list every month. I delete people if they haven't opened an email in the last like 60 to 90 days. They are gone. They're gone. I don't care. I don't need them. Sorry to that sounds rude, but I don't need them on my list. I'm very careful with my list and I have very high open rates. And that when you have high open rates, it tells the servers, like, yes, this is a legit email, this isn't spam, and it makes sure that it gets delivered to your new subscribers. So if you don't have an email list, start building one now. Create that freebie that I talked about earlier and start building that list. And Pinterest is a great place to be promoting your free opt-in. My highest traffic is probably Pinterest is my second highest traffic. And that's with leaving it on autopilot because Pinterest is not a social media outlet like a lot of people say it is. It's not. It's a search engine. But I don't do ads on there. I don't spend a ton of time on there. And like I get so much free traffic from there. I get so many good leads from Pinterest. So if you don't have money to spend on ads and you're just starting out and you want to start promoting a free opt-in and a free ebook, a free checklist, a guide, a video series, whatever it may be, Pinterest is like the best place you could start getting that out there and seeing some traffic and opt-ins from it. Okay, so number 10, the last one, I really, really, really want to encourage everybody to do this, whether you have a business or not, is connect with some other like-minded women. Because I can tell you right now that has been my saving grace over these last few weeks. And I know it's what's going to get me through the next few weeks. But this is such a great time to connect with other women that are in the same industry as you, that are like-minded. And you don't even have to do it from a place of like, hey, let's collaborate and grow our businesses. But no, like, let's actually connect. Like, let's hop on a Zoom call, get to know each other, and see if there is potential for a collaboration. Because right now, since you can't be meeting these women in real life at networking events, at live events, then you have to go that extra step, reach out to somebody, send them a voice message on Instagram DM. That is honestly, like, don't just slide into someone's DMs with like a little spammy text saying like, how do you get clients? Like I hate that one. Can I ask how you're getting clients? I'm like, no, like you can't. But when somebody sends me a voice DM, that it completely changes everything because they all of a sudden feel a little bit more real. So if there's somebody you've been wanting to connect with that you have gotten to know a little bit on Instagram, send them a voice DM and start talking, start a conversation, ask how they're doing, ask how you can serve them, ask how you can support them, because the women that I've been collaborating with over this quarantine are women that I have connected with in the past. So if you don't have that community, it's up to you to create it. Start connecting with other women, start finding ways to collaborate and support each other. Get into local communities. I know you can't meet up right now, but there are local communities that are meeting online right now where you can start to get to know each other. Join free. There's so many free Facebook groups, obviously. I mean, and there's paid ones. Whatever you need to do so that you are actually talking with other people that are similar to you, that understand what you're talking about, especially right now because most of us are at home with our families and they're maybe not in the same industry as us. They maybe don't really care about goal setting. They don't care about entrepreneurship. And so it's hard to feel like you are being heard. And so if you can find those free communities, connections, somehow that is really going to get you through that. So in the checklist, I will have some tips on that and how you can join my free community. So that is strictly for the listeners of this podcast. So if you go to corieclark.com couriecorie.com/community. That's where you can get all the info to join that free community. And I'll also link to my Purpose Babe Society, which is my group coaching. So I will link to that in the show notes as well. But I really hope that these 10 things were, bite size enough and tangible enough that you can actually do them. Because I do know a lot of us, even though we might have a little bit more time on our hands because we're not running kids here and there, we're not going to work or whatever, but we are still busy, especially if you have kids at home. You might be busier than normal. So I wanted to give you these 10 things that are bite-sized, they're tangible, you can get them done. I really feel like the number 1 and the number 10 are like the two most important ones. And most of them are things that you can just whip out in like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Set your timer for 15 minutes a day and just start chunking away at this stuff. That's one of the first things we do. I have it in the Purposeful Planner, and I have it in the declutter system. Is we really make like a huge brain dump list of all the things we need to do. And I highly encourage people to find little 15-minute chunks of time, set a timer, and just get that stuff done off your list. You don't have to time block for everything. And that's another thing, time blocking, yes, like it does help you get into a better workflow. It helps you get more quality work done. But in reality, a lot of us can't do that, especially right now. And that's what, I want you guys to know. I built my business. I wrote my book. I built my business in like very small chunks of time, 15 minutes here and there, 30 minutes here and there, because I was homeschooling. Okay. I was homeschooling. I was, taking my daughter to dance. So when she was in dance practice, I was writing my book at the Starbucks next door. When the kids had, they went to read for 30 minutes, then I would bust out 30 minutes of work. So it might not be ideal, but it's what you have to work with. And so if you can actually use what you have to work with and get some stuff done instead of feeling sorry for yourself that you don't have 90-minute chunks of time anymore, you're still going to end up getting as much work done. I promise you, it's literally how I've built my business. You do not have to time block. Like, believe me, I love time blocking. Now that my kids are older, I get bigger chunks of time. But when they were younger, I didn't. I never had 90 minutes to myself. There's no mom who does. If your kids are home, you don't get 90 minutes to yourself. So instead of like letting that weigh you down and wishing you had 90 minutes of time, take the time you have and get something done. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox on that, but I just want you guys to know that you don't have to follow anybody else's rules. You get to create the life you want. You get to build the business you want. You get to use what you have. Everything you need, you already have. Everything you need is already in you. Believe in yourself. Start taking the actions that you need to take to create the life and the business that you want, because you're the only one who can. Like, we've all been given that like harsh reminder that actually we are the only ones who can control our environment. The government can tell us we got to stay home. Well, what are you going to do inside your home? Are you going to make it a happy place? Are you going to make it joyful? Are you going to fill your family with hope and encouragement and excitement for the future? Or are you going to like use these next 30 days to just binge watch Netflix and sit around? Because I promise you, the people that choose to do something with this time and to really try to build something, they're going to come out of this stronger, happier, more fulfilled. And, I would hate to see you guys get out of this and wish you had done more. And I'm not like, listen, I'm not saying don't watch TV and, we're eating more food than normal. We're baking and like, we're doing things we don't normally do. And we are watching TV, but I'm not sitting on the couch watching TV all day. I'm treating my day like a normal work day. And then in the evening, we have our skinny margarita, we watch a show, and, we're just doing the normal thing because, I want to get out of this season stronger than I was when I came into it. So Okay, that's all I have for today. So make sure you go to the show notes so that you can download this free checklist. And I've got extra tips to go along with each of those 10 things and links to my favorite, like I said, my favorite email list, my favorite website, all that good stuff. I've got it all in there. I want to help support you. If you've kind of just always been on the edge, like you've got a side hustle and you're not sure if you want to take it full time, this is the perfect time to do that. And this is the perfect wake up moment to realize, yeah, actually I can't depend on my 9 to 5. I really do want to build this business I've always wanted to. I'm here to help you do that. I have tools to help you do that. I have free tools to help you do that. I have paid resources to help you do that. So however you decide to move forward, just start taking those steps. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you go to CorieClark.com/community so you can join our other podcast listeners. We can connect and download the checklist in the show notes. And I will be back here next week. And if you haven't yet, make sure that you subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating and a review. And that is how we help spread the word of the podcast so that more purpose-driven women can start building their lives and their businesses on purpose. Thanks so much, you guys. I will see you next week.